So you're coming to Bangkok and you want to know how to stay safe and avoid scams. I've been living in this city for almost 3 years, so I'm going to tell you about the 7 most common scams that I've seen and how to avoid them. The first common scam in Bangkok is taxis not using the meter. Legally, by Thai law, taxis have to use the meter, but often they will not, and they refuse to do so, insisting on a flat, predetermined fee to take you to your destination. The rideshare apps work so well here in Thailand now that there's rarely ever a case that you should accept one of these flat fees from a taxi. You should pretty much always insist on them using the meter. There are some very rare instances though where you might want to take the flat fee from the taxi, because I have had some situations where there was a perfect storm and I just could not get a ride off of any of the rideshare apps. And so in a situation like that where you're pretty much stranded in a place, then you may consider taking the flat fee from the taxi just to get to where you need to go. But 99% of the time, use Grab or Bolt or Lineman, which are the rideshare apps here like Uber. I've actually been in a few situations, particularly in Phuket and Pattaya, not so much in Bangkok, where there were confrontations between the taxi drivers and the rideshare app drivers, to where I had to get picked up in a different area away from the taxis because the taxi drivers are getting ornery about their clientele being taken away by the rideshare apps, but it is what it is. The next topic we're going to talk about is pickpocketing. Bangkok is the perfect city for pickpockets because people are just always bumping into each other and rubbing elbows, especially in the touristy areas, in the business district, Khao San Road, Sukhumvit, and areas like that. Of course, this also brings up a pet peeve of mine that I don't understand why so many people will just walk around and not move for other people in the foot traffic. They just walk, and I guess they expect other people to move for them, but it seems really inconsiderate and annoying to me. I've actually never been a victim of pickpocketing in Bangkok before myself, but my girlfriend has, at least on 2 different occasions. Once she had her AirPods pickpocketed on the BTS platform at the station, and another time she had what looked like a wallet stolen, but was only like 2 key cards or something. So keep your valuables buttoned up or zippered up and be aware of your surroundings and be vigilant. Also, try not to bump into people or let them bump into you. Pickpockets generally want to avoid confrontation, so this is not really a threat to your personal safety, but of course you don't want your belongings stolen, so make sure you secure them while you're here in Bangkok. Another related occurrence is the bag snatching or purse snatching, where someone is walking with a bag or a purse and 2 criminals will drive by on a motorbike and grab the bag real quick and rip it off the person. Neither me nor anyone that I know has been a victim of this, but I've definitely heard it. You can see videos of people on YouTube who have been a victim of this type of crime. Once again, the solution to this is to be aware of your surroundings, secure your bag, hold it on the side away from the street if you're walking in a situation like this. The next situation we're going to talk about involves the police. Now, police will target foreigners on motorbikes because they know that many foreigners who come to Thailand and drive motorbikes do not have a proper license. Also, they can fine you for not wearing a helmet. So make sure if you come to Thailand and want to drive a motorbike that you have an international driver's license and that you wear a helmet. Even if you're within the law and you're driving a motorbike here in Bangkok and you have a license and you're wearing a helmet, the police can and will in rare instances still stop you and extort you. I actually had this happen to me once when I was riding with my girlfriend in our car, and the police stopped us and we had to pay them 500 baht and they let us go. If this happens to you, just pay them, comply with the police, do not escalate the situation. It is not worth it. You will not win. So just comply with whatever they want. Usually the police won't hassle you. This is very rare, but it does happen. The next Bangkok scam that's everywhere is the tuk-tuks. To me, tuk-tuks are always a ripoff. Seems like the minimum that they charge these days is 200 baht, even for a short ride. So this is the least economical and budget-friendly way to travel. I guess if it's your first time in Thailand and you want to experience the novelty of riding in a tuk-tuk, go ahead and do it, but it's always overpriced these days. So to me, it's never worth it. I've taken a tuk-tuk maybe 2 times in the 3 years that I've lived here, so just avoid the tuk-tuks altogether. Then you have the tuk-tuk tours. A lot of times when you talk to the tuk-tuk drivers, they'll offer to take you on a tour of the city. And what they fail to mention is they're gonna take you to suit shops and different places where they have a deal with the establishment, and they're gonna get a kickback from taking you there, or a commission. And this can often lead to very awkward and confrontational situations. You can see many examples of that here on YouTube of other people's videos. So I recommend to completely avoid the tuk-tuk tours of the city altogether. You don't really need to take tuk-tuks to get around. These days with the rideshare apps, Grab and Bolt, use Grab, use Bolt, use Line Man. This next one is related to the last point, but this happens with taxis also, where they will tell you the place you want to go is closed and offer to take you to another place that's similar or better. I've had this happen to me a few times where they'll just bold-faced lie to your face and tell you that the place you want to go is closed, and then tell you they're going to take you to another place. This, I hate this. They'll often be very persistent and insistent, so you may have to emphatically refuse several times and just insist that they take you to your desired destination. Real quick, please subscribe to this channel for more Thailand videos like this. I'll be making a lot more videos about my experience living here in Bangkok. The next scam is not necessarily unique to Thailand. It is the short change scam. Quite simply, this is when someone doesn't give you all of your change and pockets the rest of it. I had this happen to me 2 different times at the Tops grocery store underneath the Westin next to Terminal 21 at Asok. It was the same cashier both times, but I haven't seen her lately, so hopefully she got fired. Just count your change when you get it back every time. I also gotta say here that Bangkok is not a very dangerous city compared to most other big cities. You are not going to encounter violent crime unless you go looking for it. So in general, you're gonna be safe. It's only these little issues that I'm talking about here that you might encounter, pickpocketing or short change and stuff like that. So it's really not dangerous in terms of your personal safety. Another scam you might encounter, particularly if you go to the bars or clubs in Bangkok, is the padded bill scam. This is where you go to a bar or a club and you're having a good time and you're having several drinks, and they notice that you're spending some time there and having more drinks and getting buzzed, so they sneak a few things onto your bill that you actually haven't ordered, hoping you won't notice when you go to pay the bill. This can also take the form of double lady drinks if you go to the lady bars here in Bangkok, where the girls will ask you to buy them a drink, and they will lean into the language barrier to create confusion and ambiguity and charge you for 2 lady drinks for every 1 that they ask for and you acquiesce to. So make sure you check the bill every time it comes. Here in Thailand, every time you order something or agree for something to be ordered, they will bring you a new bill. So that will work in your favor and you can check it every time. Just make sure you keep your wits about you, don't drink too much, and check your bill every time. finally, a little bonus scam here for you is the ping pong shows. Now, I've never been to one of these personally because I've known all along these are notorious for being scams. This is where they promise you a naughty good time and take you into a closed club with lots of big security guards, and they let you have a good time for a little bit, and then when you go to leave, the security guards block you from leaving and tell you that you owe an exorbitant amount, and they don't let you leave until you pay it. So do not go to the ping pong shows. Okay, so to wrap up, the further away from the main touristy areas that you are, the less you're going to encounter these kind of scams, but that may not be possible for you if you're coming here as a tourist to do touristy stuff. No worries, just keep your wits about you and follow all the tips that we discussed in this video to avoid these scams. Use Grab or Bolt or Line Man to get around instead of taxis and tuk-tuks. Always check your bill when you go to pay. Always count your change after you pay. If you do take a taxi or a tuk-tuk, do not take recommendations from taxi drivers or tuk-tuk drivers. Be sure where you want to go and tell them exactly where you want to go and be insistent about it if the situation arises. And lastly, keep your belongings secured, zip them up, button them up, be smart, keep your wits about you, and be aware of your surroundings. And have fun. I hope you have a great time in Bangkok. Subscribe to this channel, check out my other videos, and I'll see you soon. Tuna sashimi.